Oh, I want baby girl.
Don't baby girl me. How many of your groupies you call baby girl? Is Tisha a baby girl? Is Amanda a baby girl too? And who the hell is Bonquisha? Is that even a name? Man, I can't live.
What is going on, everybody? And welcome to Sharanesville, everybody. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing? How is your night going? Welcome to Sharanesville, right here on YouTube. Let's go. I appreciate you all. Let's give a big round of applause to my new subscriber. Let's go. We got a new subscriber here, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause. Yes. Welcome to Sharane, everybody. And once again, let's shout out our new subscribers to the page. They understand the movement. They understand what's going on and what's going wrong. They're educating themselves and they support the movement up out here in these streets. So shout out to, our new subscriber to the channel. Let's go. Big round of applause. Yes. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane. So right here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this right now. Welcome, everybody. Let's get into Sharane. So let's go. Let's welcome all our victims, all our survivors, all my thrivers, or anybody that's out there that just want to educate yourself. And you already know, let's welcome all them narcissistic men and women up out there in these streets. Let's go. Big round of applause to y'all up out here in these streets. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely got to keep spreading awareness, right? We got to know what is a circus show, how to keep your voice heard, all right? The reason why I come up here, I spread awareness a lot about narcissistic abuse is because it's out there and people need to understand what it is. Um, Narcissistic abuse. All right. When I was talking to the counselor yesterday, when I stepped in and, I was having a conversation with one of the counselors, we was talking about the difference between narcissistic abuse and like a cheating relationship. And narcissistic abuse, dealing with somebody that has narcissistic tendencies is way different than, you actually dating somebody that's just a straight cheater. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's different. You've been in relationships where you was dealing with somebody that was just a straight cheater. They wasn't hitting you. They, they wasn't doing none of that crazy stuff that was going on, none of that DV stuff. They was just probably out there cheating on you with probably one person. You may find out down the road it may be another person, but they're just cheating and they're not using those people for supply. They're just probably just cheating, right? Narcissistic abuse forms differently. These people operate way differently up out here in these streets, okay? I'm just telling you, there is a big difference when you are operating with these narcissistic people, whether they are a male or a female. So let me tell you guys something. Narcissistic personality disorder, if a person is diagnosed with it, that is good to know because now you know how they operate and you know to stay away, right? But if a person is not going to the counselor and they're not trying to figure out if they have those kind of tendencies, but you are seeing these red flags, you are seeing these things, it's in your face, it's smacking you in your face every time. Every time you're seeing the same thing, right? And you're educating yourself, you're opening up your third eye, and you're seeing what your relationship is about, then you will understand, and then you will see how the narcissists operate, right? Some of these narcissists, male or female, is not going to allow you to slip their mask, right? Because there are people that may go on a live trying to slip a narcissist mask, right? So, let's give a big round of applause if you ever slipped a narcissist mask, ladies and gentlemen, because I have. I'm gonna tell y'all again, my situation was a little bit differently. I have to bring this back again for all my my new subscribers that's out there that may not know what's going on or what's going wrong. You understand what I'm saying? But my narcissistic ex told me everything, how everything was operating, just like what he was doing, because the narcissist did not want me to go. You understand what I'm saying? He started telling me everything. So once you start putting the pieces together and you're seeing things and he's telling you the truth behind everything and then you're seeing it, it's like, can you stay in that? No, because the person is just not trying to go get themselves any type of help. Right, ladies and gentlemen? No, they're not going to get themselves any help because Sharane Wells sat there, tried to figure out if the person would get themselves some help. They didn't. So evidently, you got to open up your third eye, wake up, and understand what's going on and going wrong about here in these streets. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So now, listen, let me tell you guys something. You got to understand the clown show. All right, you got to understand what's the clown show and how everybody operates. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk about we're going to take a moment and we're going to talk about something, okay? So this is Dear Binghamton, Broome County, and everyone listening, okay? I want you to take a moment to listen to what I have to say, okay? I'm here because I believe every voice matters. I'm here to use my voice to bring awareness to issues that affect women, men, families, survivors, and people who may be struggling behind closed doors. I'm here because sometimes people don't know where to turn. Sometimes they are afraid to speak. Sometimes they feel like nobody will believe them. Sometimes they have been through so much that they don't even know how to explain what they're feeling. I want those people to know you deserve to be heard. My goal isn't to tell anybody how they should live their life. My goal is to encourage awareness, education, healthy conversations, and support. I want our community to recognize the warning signs of unhealthy relationships and understand that abuse isn't always physical. It can involve emotional manipulation, intimidation, isolation, control, and other behaviors that can affect someone's confidence and well being. But I also want to talk about something just as important: healing. So, healing takes time. You may have days when you feel strong and days when you don't. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Take your journey one day at a time. And if somebody trusts you enough to tell you what they're going through, listen. Don't automatically judge them. Don't assume you know everything that happened. Okay? Sometimes people need someone willing to hear them before they're ready to take their next step. Binghamton, I'm here because I want to help keep these conversations alive. I'm here to remind survivors that their experiences matter. I'm here to encourage our community to look out for one another. And I'm here to use my platform to help people understand that awareness can save lives, conversations can create change, and compassion can make a difference. My voice is only one voice, but when we come together, our voices become powerful. So, to everyone listening tonight, don't underestimate the power of your voice. Speak when you're ready and ask for help when you need it. Listen when somebody else needs to be heard. And never forget that your story, your experiences, and your voice have value. This is why I'm here. For Binghamton, for Broome County, for our communities, for our women and men, for survivors, for healing, for awareness, and most importantly, to help keep our voices heard. This is Sharane's World. Thank you for listening. And please remember, we don't have to stay silent to keep the peace. Sometimes speaking up is how change begins. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? So keep your voices heard. All right. Y'all want to know what a clown show is? I don't know if y'all want to know what a clown show is because some of y'all are in these clown shows and don't even know you're in a clown show. Okay. So we're going to break down what is a clown show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane's World, everybody. The circus, the clown, and the supply. Let's go. Get your books out, Google it, educate yourself. All right. Yeah, I want to tell this story because sometimes you have to put something into a picture for people to really understand it. Imagine walking into a circus. You hear the music, you see the lights, everybody is looking towards the stage. And then the clown comes out. The clown starts performing. Everybody starts laughing. Everybody is watching. Everybody's reacting. And the clown knows exactly what to do to keep the audience watching. Now imagine that same circus being a relationship. At first, you might not even realize you're watching a performance because in the beginning, everything can look good, right? It can look real good. You meet somebody, they're giving you attention, they're telling you everything you want to hear. They're making you feel special. They're telling you how beautiful you are or how handsome you are. They're telling you how different you are from everybody else. And you're thinking, wow, maybe I finally found somebody who really understands me because that's how they operate. You're dealing with my narcissistic guy. But then the show starts changing. One day they're loving, the next day they're distant. That's why I say they act like Geminis. I mean, you know, if y'all Geminis out there, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying they be acting two-faced. But one day they're telling you they can't live without you. The next day they're treating you like you don't matter. Then they come back. Then there's another argument. This is why I tell y'all, love bombing, hoovering, swindling. That's what they're doing right here. Okay, gaslighting you, probably blame shifting. Okay, they ain't starting no smear campaigns yet. That's when you're trying to leave. So then they come back. Then there's another argument. Then the apology. Then another promise. And you're sitting there trying to understand what's happening. You're thinking, which person am I gonna get today? Oh my God. You never know what you're gonna get with a narcissist. If you're dealing with my narcissistic ex, let me tell you, speaking from experience, yo, you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know. And it don't even have to be your issue. It's like you gotta be their personal little therapist. It don't matter if you got something good going on, you're their therapist. Okay? That's when you may start feeling like you're living in a circus. And then comes the audience. Because sometimes it's not just you, there may be other people around this person, friends, family, exes, new relationships, co workers, people online, people they call when they need attention. Different people may be given different things. That's what you call supply. One person gives attention, one person gives sympathy, one person gives money. This how many supplies they got, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. They don't need it all from one person. They need about 5 to 10 to a lot of them things out there in them streets, okay? One person gives money, one person gives compliments, one person gives emotional support, one person reacts every time there's drama. So there's gonna be a supply. Like I told y'all, let me show y'all. When it's operated up out here in these streets, this situation right here. Okay. That was all because there was a supply right there. Okay. They operate crazy on demon time, and that's why the narcissist got a warrant out. See, people gotta learn how to stop violating their ACD orders up out here in these streets. But let's go. Let's get right back into Sharane's world. You know, because when you violating ACD orders and you catching new charges and you think nothing gonna slip back up on you, I don't know. You violating order protections, things happen. But let's go. Let's get back into Sharane's world. Okay. All right. So one person gives emotional support. We're gonna run it back. One person reacts every time there's drama. And that can become what people refer to as supply. Okay, that is supply. I'm telling you this since February. I know what I'm talking about. I studied the narcissist, and the narcissist is just a narcissist. And I'm so happy I got justice. But anyway, but here's what I want people to understand. Supply isn't some magical thing. We're talking about attention, validation, emotional reactions, admiration, or other benefits somebody may seek from people around them. And sometimes the person doesn't even care whether your reaction is positive or negative. They're just happy they're getting a reaction. That's why you can find yourself arguing for hours, ladies and gentlemen. You're explaining, okay? Hit the like button if this is something that you're going through. You're explaining no matter who you are, male or female. You're constantly explaining yourself. You're always defending yourself. You're crying. You're asking questions. You're saying, why are you doing this to me? And the other person keeps going because now they're getting your energy. I keep telling you guys, they get your energy. Do not allow these people to get your energy. They're getting your attention. They're getting a reaction. And you don't even realize how exhausted you are becoming. Now imagine that circus again. The clown is on stage, but eventually the audience gets tired. People start walking out. The seats start emptying. And suddenly the performance doesn't have the same effect. That's where boundaries come in. Sometimes you have to stop being part of the audience. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to explain yourself 10 times. You don't have to keep defending yourself. You don't have to chase somebody for an answer. You don't have to compete with another person. And you don't have to keep proving that you're worthy of love. Because you are already worthy. Okay? You're worthy already, ladies and gentlemen. So don't let them tell you other. And I want women and men to hear me when I say this. Don't allow somebody else's behavior to turn your whole life into a circus. If you recognize a pattern of manipulation, constant drama, disrespect, or emotional control, step back and look at what's happening. Ask yourself, what am I receiving from this relationship? What am I constantly getting? Am I getting peace or am I constantly getting chaos? Because love should not require you to lose yourself. And I'm not saying every argument means somebody is narcissistic. I'm saying look at the pattern, look at the repeated behavior, look at whether there's accountability, look at whether there's genuine change. Because words are easy. Anybody could say, I'm sorry. Anybody could say, I'm going to change. But behavior tells the real story. So if you're sitting in somebody else's circus right now, I want you to remember something. You can leave the audience. You can stop participating. You can protect your energy. You can set boundaries. You can choose peace. Because at the end of the day, your life isn't a stage for somebody else to control. The curtain can come down, the lights can go off, the music can stop, and you can walk away from the circus. Keep your voice heard, keep your boundaries strong, and don't forget who you are just because somebody else tried to make you part of their show. This is Sharane's World, everybody. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate you all. You already know. Make sure y'all get the tools. Do not go in these clown shows. It ain't good. It ain't nothing good coming out these clown shows. Alrighty. Remember, stay focused. Keep your voice heard. And remember, the narcissist is lurking. What do they look for? They look for new supply. They look everywhere for their supply. Okay? Don't become a narcissist supply, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get in the clown show. When you end up in these clown shows, it's no good that come up out of that. No good. This is why I say you might as well get the shovel and dig your early grave and you want to end up in a clown show. All right? So stay about them clown shows because the only thing that's going to happen out that clown show is you are going to be love bombed. You're going to get gaslit. You're going to get blame shifting, manipulation. They're going to devour you. Isolation. They're going to isolate you. Absolutely. They're going to give you the silent treatment. They're going to do smear campaigns when it's time for you to leave. They're going to hoover you. And at the end of the day, you're going to be stuck with anxiety, fear, depression, confusion, loss of confidence. This is if you keep putting yourself in a victim mode, you know? And feeling like they are constantly walking on eggshells. This is why I say get up out the clown shows. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it at all. Keep your boots on the ground. They violating all the protections out here in these streets. You keep your boots on the ground. And like I said, don't interact with them. Don't do nothing crazy towards them because they like that. All right? Remember, you have to keep your voice heard. So don't start becoming an narcissist. Don't try to antagonize them and pop up at their houses and stuff. You better than that. You don't need to be you don't do what they do. That's not what you do. You don't be calling their phones down. Don't be texting them down. Nothing. Let them do that because that's what they do. Okay? They like a clown show. They like that kind of back and forth. I just told y'all what they like. They like that. And if you want to operate like that, then let me tell you what you might as well do. Get your doctors and everybody ready. I hope you got some life insurance going on and going wrong. Okay? Get you the shovel that I keep telling y'all to get and go bury your early grave. And you can pick anyone that you want to pick because that's what they're going to do. Too many people that go unalive behind dinner with somebody that has domestic violence issues or narcissistic issues or whatever issues they got going wrong with themselves mentally that they should have corrected. I don't care. You 30, you 40, you 50. Ain't no way you should be coming out here operating like that in these streets. Like a toddler? Like you got to get taught how to operate? No. So remember, keep your boots on the ground. And remember, it's nighttime, so let me tell you something. Make sure your doors is locked. Y'all got to make sure y'all have these safety tools as well. When you go into these DV shelters or you start going to counseling or whatever, maybe DV counseling or so, whatever counseling you do, they teach you these things. There's a lot of things you get taught behind the scenes that, I'm not really coming up here telling y'all. It's something I might tell somebody in person, but there's a lot of things that they teach you that you don't want the battle or to find out, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, the tools is, make sure y'all doors are locked. Make sure y'all got your emergency contact numbers. Make sure they ain't at your windows at nighttime. All right? Because they be doing stuff like that. They pop up, you don't answer, and you go no contact, they be at your door. They might be at your job waiting. Change your route. Start changing your routes when y'all go outside. Stop coming back the same way, going the same way. They know how you operate, remember? They know how you operate. See, when somebody tells me how I operate, that's a problem. I'm going to switch it up. Don't tell me how I operate. Yeah, you go there, this day. Start switching up the way y'all operate outside in the streets. And start paying attention because you'll start seeing people before they see you. It's a lot of people I see before they see me. Okay? And it's not about that. It's just you just got to be focused out here in the streets, right? You got to scan everything. Okay? You got to know what you're walking into. That's what I'm saying. When you're going into like supermarkets or you going anywhere, scan them parking lots out. You gotta know. right, what's in here? So I know what I'm walking into. You know what I'm saying? Don't begin. Listen, these narcissists think that, nothing can happen to them because it's narcissistic personality disorder. But when it becomes domestic, it's an issue. You know, when it becomes that they're putting hands on you, or what if they're not putting their hands on you, but they're breaking your property, or they're hounding you down, stalking you, just harassing you, and now you got to call police, not police involved. Now y'all got court case. You understand what I'm saying? That becomes domestic. It's domestic. Even if you ain't getting beat on or nothing, they doing all that other crazy stuff, and you have to call police. It's domestic. Y'all in a relationship together. It's domestic. Definitely. Now, depending on if you get arrested, what's gonna happen is if you broke their property and stuff. Now that's a problem. You definitely going to jail because you over there breaking people's property. That's domestic. That's like harassing. Y'all need to know your laws. Understand, especially in New York. Okay, that is definitely domestic. All right. Now, if they're abusing you, you understand what I'm saying? Harassment is in there too, ladies and gentlemen. So, listen, this is what I'm saying. Don't even go for them no harassment orders. Let me tell you something. That I should have been had that drop from a no contact order. I should have let him do what he said he was gonna do. If they put it to a no contact order when we go back to the court, I'm just gonna tell them let me do my 15 days in the Broome County Jail. We got a story behind that. You want to do 15 days in the Broome County Jail? Well, the way I heard you tried in November. About 15 days, you couldn't even do the month that you was in there. Let's go. Yes, I'm just saying, it's real up out here in these streets. It's definitely real. And I got the same energy for anybody else that needs my help. Get your voices. Most definitely get your voices and just go no contact. Go no contact till speak with your doctors, because there's one thing Sharane World is not telling y'all. It's one thing. It's one thing I'm not telling. I didn't tell YouTube. I might have flipped it up on YouTube, but I did tell my radio show. After coming through all of this stuff with the narcissist, dealing with all of this, I've been through domestic violence and everything like that. 2019, did the Rise video out here in 2020. I did a survivor video. For that situation, it was all over the news, whatever the case may be. You deal with toxic relationships in between, you stay to yourself, you know what I mean? After that TV situation, I was to myself for about 2 to 3 years. Then you start doing, you deal with toxic people that just wasn't for you. Then you run into narcissists. They love bomb you, they swindle you, they do everything in above, right? They drop rings. They ask you to marry you. Let me tell y'all, ladies and gentlemen, Sharane World got a story for a story. There's a lot of things I ain't talking about. But listen, I done put my life on the line to try to help a narcissist medically that I didn't even have to do. But it was just to help the narcissist out, ladies and gentlemen. But by the grace of God, God was on my side. And when you believe in Him, He'll definitely help you out, no matter what's going on, whether things are good or bad. And these narcissists don't believe in that. God, what? How can they? When you ask them that question, you know what the answer you're going to get? Well, they took something very special away from me. And it seems like you have some kind of unhealed issues that's going on and going wrong that I can't fix. And you over 40. You need some more healing. I'm 34. I know how to go sit down to somebody and go get some help or whatever it is that's needed to be helped. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm able to be healed up out here in the streets. But let me tell you something. What really opened my eyes was this narcissistic relationship. It was, it opened my eyes real good. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit will rock you to sleep. It'll rock you to sleep. I'm not gonna hold you. You'll be rocked to sleep. Telling about a narcissist. But once you got your eyes open, I think I would have found out more quicker if I was one of them type of females of, being in the street. Meaning if I was in the clubs and the bars and the shinglings and up in everybody's face and having everybody in my home. If I was one of those females that was like that out here, I found out quicker. It's easy. But it was a lot of things the narcissist would say. And I worked a lot, But let me tell y'all something. It's one thing that I'm not saying. Coming after these situations, you go through things, and everything like that. But down to like what? February? I could definitely say like February this year. I'm still dealing with all this rah-rah stuff with the narcissist at the end of the day. I'm going through, matter of fact, I was coming up here on YouTube. When I first started my YouTube channel, let's go. We definitely got to run this back. When I first started coming up on YouTube, um, I was letting everybody know around the times when I was getting sick. I was catching allergic reactions to some of the medicines I had. I had to get an MRI, CAT scan, whatever. I had to get a CAT scan or whatever the case may be on a headache on my head, basically. And I kind of had allergic reaction or whatever the case may be. Well, coming to find out, down the road, we trying to figure out, the doctor's trying to figure out, I can't take no medications. Major. I got an EpiPen. That's how real it is. Because I am allergic to certain things. I'm allergic to like shellfish, betadine, iodine. There's a lot of things that I'm allergic to that I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. Certain medications like painkillers. I'm allergic to a lot of things now that I can't even take. You understand? So I have to be very careful now. Ever since I got that CAT scan off the headache that I was getting, and when you're dealing with narcissistic relationships, let me tell you something. Before I got into the situation, I wasn't having these issues. I wasn't having these problems. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, you deal with anxiety. Of course, you deal with depression, whatever, but not like that. You understand what I'm saying? Not where you good. Like, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like what Sharane we're about to get into, let's go. This is definitely a killer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you something. And it's real up out here in these streets. This is why I say when you come up out these situations, make sure, if you're not feeling good, like whatever, these narcissists will have you all out of whack, right? hmm Let's go. Let's kill the music. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane's, everybody. So as I'm going through my allergic reactions, while I'm going, when I first started up on YouTube, I was coming up here letting everybody know there was times I was taking breaks. There was people on my support group page on Facebook that was like, "Come on, Tiana." There was one girl. She's like, come on. I know you don't feel good, but you got this." I used to come up here. I let you guys know, like, hey, I was in the hospital or whatever the case may be, allergic reaction. There's times I used to have to hit myself with the EpiPen because that's how real it is, right? Because I'm having allergic reactions off of whatever medicine the neurologist would give me or whatever the case may be, right? So boom. Now come to find out, my neurologist and the dermatologist, they're over there. They're like, we're gonna run a blood check. We're gonna check everything, your ANA bodies, everything. Right. So I'm like, cool. Because my bones, and I'm thinking it's because I'm working a lot, working these jobs and things like that, lifting, bending. Listen, so I'm just thinking maybe it's that, right? No, it's not, right? So boom, the doctors, they run all their blood work, they run it back, and now come to find out, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let me tell y'all what it is. You ready? So now to come to find out, my ANA bodies ended up for lupus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, Sharane World was tested positive for lupus. And let me tell you something. It is not easy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. No, 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 no. It is not easy, okay, to be dealing with that and to still, have to, oh my gosh, it is a lot, right? So dealing with lupus and to find out that's what I have, or whatever the case may be. And they're still doing testing to figure out exactly what type. I do have the results of that, and I don't go to the rheumatologist till about tomorrow, So I do have an appointment with the rheumatologist, and they're gonna let me know exactly what it is. I know what it is, but let me tell you something. Um, it's not an easy thing. So dealing with lupus, if anybody out there that's ever dealt with lupus, please let me know what I know everybody. What I do know and from what I learned about it is that everybody's not the same. Everybody don't have the same thing. So I do know what my symptoms are. And honestly, I feel like a vampire. Like I've never expected that I would be diagnosed with lupus, right? Yeah, so as of this year of May, I've been diagnosed with lupus. So that's probably why I was going through all those reactions of everything. Um, what it could have been was I probably been so stressed out, just everything going on, the narcissist, just everything was just stressful that it probably sent my ANA bodies out of whack. And that's when they figured out they ran that blood work and it came back positive of my ANA bodies for, lupus. Auto is basically an autoimmune disease. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, is it's not easy. Okay, everybody has different types. Everybody's is, different. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have it, you know what it is, please drop it in the comments. Let me know. Hit the like button, share it. Okay, I will come back up here and maybe do a video about it. Okay. Because let me tell you something, when you're going through these situations, coming out of domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, any type of toxic relationship, maybe sexual abuse, who knows, any type, you have to make sure that you get your mental check. You have to make sure you're eating right. You have to make sure everything is right because these narcissists will send your body out of whack, ladies and gentlemen. So for me to know that I have an autoimmune disease of, for lupus, and now to know the type that I have SLE. So I'm still learning it because, like I said, I go to my rheumatologist tomorrow, and I'm still learning it. All I know it has something to do with like bones, joints, and things like that. But then I have other things as well. I can't go in the sun. Uh, my body, like certain parts, like get pink and things like that. So it is absolutely like, I'm telling you, you have your days, and I don't even call it your days. I say it's like every minute it's something because you never know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So listen. Make sure y'all get this awareness. All right. Make sure y'all go to your doctor and make sure man, if your back aching, you don't know, you dealing with some toxic stuff. Just say, hey, I want to be tested to see if I got any type of lupus or any type of autoimmune disease because it's not being tested for lupus. It's just seeing if you will come back positive for an autoimmune disease. Okay. If your autoimmune disease, your ANA bodies come back positive, there is a ratio to a number to that. So you have to look at the number and see if you fall in that bracket of the ratio. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And I fell in that bracket. Okay, I definitely did. And I just can't believe it. Okay. And I just thought it was a dream. I just was like, maybe it'll go away after a while. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the case. Okay. That is not the case. It is still here. It is something that I have to deal with. And the rheumatologist, once I go there, they'll be able to help me figure out how to handle the situation. Because right now, who's handling my situation from February to now till I get to the rheumatologist. Well, in between that, they were trying to figure out everything they figured it out. But my doctor, which is my primary care, the dermatologist is the one that sent it out. So he's been doing his job. And then you have the neurologist that's been doing their job. So I want to give a big, round of applause to my doctors because they all been doing their jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they have. And who would have known that, my antibodies would have came back positive for autoimmune disease. And then to find out it's lupus. Like, wow, it's crazy work. So now I have to sit there and, you have to make sure your vitamin levels is good, your iron levels. And also, not just with lupus, I'm anemic as well. So, it's always cold to me. And then I have to make sure with lupus, what I'm learning because everybody's different. For me, even the cold but I would be in a flare. Like, let me tell you something, it's not cool. It's a crazy feeling, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I just want to be lupus, basically, you would look at a person and they look normal on the outside. They look regular. I look regular. but you would never know that I have lupus. You would never know that I'm diagnosed with lupus or any type of autoimmune disease. Okay. You would never know that because we look regular. We look like we okay. And everybody would say, oh, well, you look okay. You look fine today. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Let me tell you something. This morning, it took me about 3 hours to get out the bed. You know, my bones was aching. I was stiff. I couldn't move. Like on Sunday, it was over. Like my wrist, I couldn't even hold my phone on my wrist because it just felt like pain. But that's because I got diagnosed with SLE or something like that. So I'm still learning it. And I learn more tomorrow when I go to the rheumatologist. But it mine has something to do with my joints and other and yeah. Nothing with thyroid because I know everybody is different. Some people have thyroid issues with lupus and stuff. I don't have that. They tested all of that. They got that all out the way. It's not that. It came back with something with the SLE with my joints and things like that. And then I can't go in the sun. It's real hard. You cannot go in the sun. I end up my hands turn pink, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, my hands do turn pink. Maybe you know, you get the butterfly rash. I get the butterfly rash on my face. Absolutely. Ugh. It's annoying, you know, you get the butterfly rash and stuff like that. If it gets hot outside. But yes, it is absolutely real. So this is why I say as a survivor, as a thriver, you gotta make sure that you guys are out there making sure you talking to your doctors when you're coming out these situations because you don't know what you be going through. You don't know. You could be coming out these situations and still feel off. Look, for me, I was catching headaches, ladies and gentlemen, like pure headaches. Like every time I got around the narcissist, my stomach would turn and I would catch major headaches, ladies and gentlemen. Just my headaches would come out of nowhere and they was chronic. Bang, bang. I was like, oh no, something ain't right over here. So now while I'm trying to heal myself, nah, you gotta like it was just nope, you gotta go. Like it's that's this is just not it. Headaches. So now, ladies and gentlemen, not just with lupus, right? I actively have to take injection shots every month or monthly for muscle spasms. I get chronic muscle spasms for headaches now. Okay. And due to the fact that I have to take injection shots, because let's take it back to remember what I said, I will break out to any type of pill that you would give me. I cannot take pills, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the pills I can't take. I cannot take any headache pills, Tylenol. That's that's light work for me. I cannot take that. So I have to take actual injection shots every month. It's called inequality. Oh, I hate them things. Yeah, you gotta a shot every month. And yeah, and absolutely. And if I don't take them shots every month, want me to tell you what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Them headaches is coming like and it will make you but you know. I do have, you know, the neurologist did give medication. So let's say you took your monthly injection shot, right? And you good. Them shots right there work. Inequality absolutely work. But let's say you may catch a little slight headache, and it ain't gonna be compared to any type of headache you ever caught in your life, right? It's just gonna be something slight. I'm like, they give you something for that, and it's not going to be a Tylenol or whatever. So they're going to prescribe you something. I don't even like to take that because I'm so scared that I don't want to react off of that. So I just work off of my shot every month, and I make sure that you know the pharmacists have it in because that's something that has to be ordered and stored into a refrigerator. Okay, and you inject yourself with it, and you go about your business. Okay, and it's been working for me. I haven't broke off of that. Any medication that I'm taking from them, as far as like you know my iron and stuff. That's stuff that I'm not breaking out from. Anything new, I'm not taking. Don't come to me with nothing new. That's what I tell them. I don't want nothing new because I don't want to react and I don't have time to be hitting myself with an EpiPen. And I got about 15 minutes to make it to the ER. And you know, the ambulance is coming because it happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it happened. I had to hit myself one time. The neurologist gave me some pill called Clowipta, right? So I took it, thinking it's going to get the headache to go. Ah, man, that didn't happen. I broke out of hives. I was just, it was my throat. Everything was closing. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding. It was time to get that EpiPen and it was time to, let's go. I had to shoot myself. Bang, right on the side. So yeah, it is crazy, but let me tell you something. To learn to have lupus after the situation is absolutely off the charts. And can I sit there and be like, well, Sharane, what if you would have never met this person? You probably would have never had that. Well, maybe, because, they send everything out of whack, right? They do. So this is why I said when you coming out these DV relationships and these toxic relationships, please make sure y'all talk to your doctors. If you feel off, maybe you just probably need some vitamin C or what, maybe you just need to eat differently. But Shereen will definitely have to eat differently. I'm 34 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to eat differently. I don't eat vegetable oil. I use olive oil. There's a lot of things that I change up. I don't eat white eggs. I use brown eggs. I've been doing that for a while now. And I eat brown eggs and stuff like that. I don't drink regular water. I use alkaline water. You understand? It's absolutely good. Alkaline still water. It's good. Yeah, there's certain things that I've changed up. Like my oil, I don't fry with vegetable oil. Like I said, I get the olive oil, maybe Germany or whatever, French. I get the olive oil, the good stuff, the organic one. And it's so good when you use it, right? It changes everything, especially butter. You don't use that regular nasty butter. You got to switch it up. Yeah, got to switch it up to different butter, right? Got to use that olive oil butter, right? So yeah, make sure y'all get the awareness because, like I said, to be diagnosed with an ANA bodies are positive for lupus is absolutely crazy, and now this is not something that could just go away, right? No, 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 no. Like narcissistic personality disorder, them people, that stuff can't go away. They got that for life, for life. And lupus, absolutely. There's people that go unalive behind these situations. I know for a fact who has lupus. I'm Tony Braxton. She has lupus, right? Absolutely. There's a lot of celebrities out there that have lupus and things like that. So I'm still learning. Everybody's different. And like I said, I have my days. And one day I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna do a video like this. And I broke this down on my radio show, but I've never told you guys to, that, between March, what was it, like May? It was like May is when I found out of this year. Okay, so it is absolutely bizarre, but like I said, it's real. And I would definitely do a video about it. Because there's real out here in these streets, and there's people that go through DV stuff, and then they got to come out and they finding out they got anxiety, or they got depression, or they got PTSD, or they got adjustment disorder, or they got lupus, or there's people out there that got this going on out of these situations. So this is why I say, always ask a peer mentor survivor or always ask an advocate or anybody, what is your story? And you will know their story, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to Sharane's World right here on YouTube. Let's go. Yes, I appreciate you all for watching, tuning in. Hit the like button. If you know anybody that's dealing with lupus, hit the like button. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. If you know anything about it, let me know. I do know everybody's different though. I do know that. Everybody's different. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all. And I know I held y'all up a little longer than what I said I was going to normally do. Well, I said that to myself before I came up here. But once you get talking and talking and talking, I'm telling you the awareness and everything about everything, it just flows, right? Yeah. So if you know anything about lupus, you know what I'm saying? Anything about the joints, anything about that, just let me know. Because I know it's real up out here. And it ain't fun, it ain't cool. And these narcissists, like I tell y'all, they're gonna pay. They have to pay for their consequences, no matter who they are, male or female, right here locally in Binghamton. So I appreciate everybody for watching, for tuning in, for viewing, and understanding the movement. And shout out, let's give a big round of applause to my new subscriber that's out there in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's real. I love coming up here spreading awareness. I know y'all probably be wanting me to come up here longer. There's a lot, it's other people that do ask me to come up here longer. And sometimes I'm just like, maybe I gotta do a little short video. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? As long as y'all getting the tools. No matter who you are, male or female, get the tools, okay? Listen, even if you're not going through a domestic violence situation, even if you're not, right? Even if you're not going through any of these situations, still go to your doctor. If you're feeling off, like maybe you just don't feel good, whatever, your back ache, been aching all the time, Maybe it runs in your family. Okay? I know for me it doesn't. All right, so figure it out. Ask your doctors to check you for that. You have to ask them to check you for that. They ain't gonna just go run and check you. And then they may ask you, why do you want to be checked and what's the reasons and what's hurting you and, and things like that. And you can let them know. And then they go test you for it. And they can see what's going on and what's going wrong. Maybe they need to check to see if your vitamin D levels is low. Maybe your iron levels is low. Maybe your vitamin B12 is low. Maybe you need to fix. They gotta fix that. You know what I'm saying? It probably won't. Maybe it's not lupus or an autoimmune disease. Okay, it could be something else. So the whole goal is making sure y'all go out there and y'all just get yourself, checked out, making sure that y'all blood work is right, your energy is right, your mind is right, you're focused, you're able to go and heal, right? Because once I figured out I had all this going on, Sharane will have to heal, right? You have to get through, you got to push through this. Let's go, that's your life. I appreciate everybody. Welcome to Sharane's World. And if you haven't already, make sure y'all tune into all my other videos I already did, okay? Y'all already know we're going to have Thirsty Thursday coming up on Thursday, so make sure y'all tune in for that. If you haven't already, check out my community wall. I have a lot of flyers up there of everybody I've been talking about, so check that out right on my community wall, right on YouTube. And also on my support group page on Facebook and my main page, I have all my flyers and any flyer that I'm talking about is up there that you ever heard of my videos that you're looking for, any events, any shows that you want to listen to, whatever, it is up there. Okay, just check it out, hit the like button, tune into it. Okay, guys, I appreciate you all. So I'm gonna start heading up out of here. Y'all make sure y'all have a blessed night right here locally in Binghamton. As you know, I'm a peer mentor survivor for domestic violence and narcissistic abuse relationships for all men and women right here in these streets. Let's go. Welcome to Sharane's World. I'm gonna head up out of here. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay safe. Get the tools that you need. Alrighty. Later.
You got a long way to go. Rock with me now.